What up YouTube, it's Alex and I'm back again for another video. And today is, of course, Walking Dead Monday. Walking Dead premiered last night, so I will be talking about episode, I think it was 9 last night that aired. I don't know, I don't actually keep count of the episodes. But yeah, so I will be talking about episode 9 today. I'm pretty sure it's episode 9, season 8. Something like that. I think it's season 8. Yeah. Sounds about right. Okay, so, and of course, if you guys have not seen the episode, pause this video, go watch the episode, then come back and hear what I gotta say about this. So you have been warned, there's gonna be spoilers coming up. So, last night was a very emotional night on Walking Dead. Oh my god. I was not prepared in the slightest for that episode. It was just so heartbreaking. Oh my god. You see it at the end of the mid-season finale of the last episode. I think it was episode 8. Well, of course it has to be episode 8 if this was episode 9. So, in episode 8, they reveal at the very, very end of the episode that Carl has been bitten and that he is not making it. There was so many different fan things that I had saw online of fan predictions of what did people think was actually going to be happening in the episode. I was so die hard hoping for just at least one of those theories to actually be correct. I was reading that that it was gonna be a whisperer that actually bit him. That it wasn't really gonna be a zombie. That it was actually a whisperer who bit him, and so he wasn't actually diseased. I was also reading an article about how he was secretly a cure and that no one actually had known that Carl was secretly the cure for the zombie plague. I was actually really hoping for that. That would have been really cool to kind of play off of that. Or what I was but the theory that I was diehard hoping for was that it was actually the Whisperer that bit him. I was really, really hoping for that. I was really depressed that it wasn't actually true last night, that they proved that theory wrong. I was really hoping they would have proved that correct, because that would have been an awesome way to kind of lead us into, hey, there's actually a different group out there besides the Saviors and Negan. We might want to be on the lookout for them. That would have been really cool. I would have really liked it, but no, it had to be Carl's final episode. And I was really hoping that they were going to, because everyone kept saying, "Oh, Carl's last episode, Carl's last episode." I was kind of hoping that they were just gonna pull, a joke on it. I'll be like, "Ha, nope, he's not really dying, ha." And then to have it he's actually dying. Oh, I'm so devastated by that. That was the biggest part in this episode, was the loss of Carl. It was just so depressing about it. I was nonstop reading articles for the past few weeks about how this could be a lie and that he's really coming back, that he's actually going to be living and all that. And then I had to go and read an article about how the actor Chandler Riggs actually was fired from Walking Dead, and I was so devastated to actually read that was actually true, and actually went and did more research on it to see if it actually legit was true, and it was. It was so depressing. Oh, if any AMC producers are watching this, you should be so ashamed of yourself. Oh my god, that was just so, no. That is so bad. You guys stink. And especially the background of why you had to kill Carl. You guys seriously suck. Oh my god. If you guys don't know, it actually they promised Chandler Riggs to be on for the basically probably the rest of the show, and then Chandler Riggs actually said to them, I want to keep doing this show, but I also want to pursue other things. I want to go on to get a college degree and stuff like that. And he was saying all these different things of how he wanted to do more with his life, but he was still going to have Walking Dead in his life, and that it was going to be a big part of his life still, and that he wasn't going to be giving it up, and that it was still going to be there for him. And AMC said, okay, that's cool, good for you. You want to pursue something else? You want to go to a college? That's awesome for you. You can do that. You're still gonna have a job, and that job will help pay you for you to go to college. And then I think it was 2 episodes after he said that, they pulled the rug right out from underneath his feet and told him, you're fired. Oh my God. I was so mad to read that article that they did that to him. That is, no. AMC, you should be ashamed of yourself for doing that. Oh my God. And then to drag out his death for the whole season, for this whole episode. AMC, you guys seriously suck. My God. But so, this episode was Carl's death, but it was also somewhat of a storyline of, it was going off of different parts of different places. It was taking place in Alexandria, well, underneath Alexandria with Carl's death, and then it was taking place at the Kingdom, and then for a split second it was at the Sanctuary. So we were at 3 different places for this episode. But mostly it was focused on under Alexandria, where Carl was laying there dying. That was the biggest part of the episode, and oh my goodness, it was the most devastating death, I must say, for AMC to have done. It is still just so depressing to know that Carl, one of the biggest characters in the comics, is now gone. That is just devastating. I'm kind of losing faith now in the show. It's been going on for probably this past season, and then to have this big thing go on, I think they're going to be losing a lot of viewers. I know they might be losing me a little bit. They are slowly losing my view, because why would you do this? He was a big character. Oh my goodness. I'm just very frustrated with AMC with this. Oh my God. But I really want to see where they're going to go with the story, so I most likely will keep on watching the show, even though it's just going to be harder to watch now that Carl is gone. But it kind of gives them more of a reason to fight, is because Rick's going to use it as that he couldn't keep his son safe. He wants to make a place that's safer for everyone and not have what happened to Carl happen to anyone else. I actually saw that in the episode, they actually went to the Old Man Rick scenes, and in one of the scenes, they go back to, I think it was the first episode of the season, where you first see Old Man Rick, where it was, you see a shadow of Carl. And I was like, oh my God, that means that he's going to totally live. And they went back to it in this episode, and I was like, that totally means he's living. This is not the end of Carl. This is just a problem for Carl. It's not the end for Carl. There's still light at the end of this tunnel. Yes. And then to have that pulled out from underneath all of us of, no, it's not true. He does die. Spoiler. He does die. I'm sorry, everyone. It was so depressing, and to drag the death out the whole episode. I know it was good for them to drag it out for the whole episode, because it is Carl. They are saying goodbye to a very big character, someone who is part of the final. I think it was the final four characters who were from the first season, who was from the original cast. It was Andrew Lincoln, who plays uh, Rick. Uh, yeah, Daryl was in the first season. Carl and Carol were the first. Were the is the only four people who were alive, and now that number has gone down to three people who are surviving the zombie apocalypse. I'm really hoping that they are not killing anyone else from the original season. Though they might, because it does happen in the comics. Of the Carol does die in the comics, but it's a little late for them to be killing her off now because she died quite a while ago in the comics. She died at the prison, so I don't really see Carol's death coming into play anytime soon. I believe that if any of you read the comics, I believe that Carol will be taking up the role of Michonne from the comics, and rumor has it that Enith will actually be taking all the roles of Carl from the comics. I don't know if I really like that. Carl had a really big input in the comics for the new group of the Whisperers. He had a really big part of he somewhat actually finds them, and so I was really looking forward to seeing that come into the show. And now it's not going to be Carl; it's going to be Enith. I don't know. I kind of was hoping for different things with this show. I was kind of hoping for Enith and Carl to kind of have the Sophia and Carl vibe from the comics, because in the comics Sophia is still alive and she kind of gets adopted by Maggie, and when Glenn was alive, she kind of gets adopted, and so I was kind of hoping that they were going to kind of do that with Enith, that Maggie was going to kind of take her under her wing and kind of show her the ropes of life, and Carl was going to kind of be like, they were going to kind of be sibling like in the world, but now that theory is debunked, so I kind of want to see what they're going to do with Enith. And then in this episode we have King Ezekiel almost dying, and oh my goodness, that was insane. But it was also really powerful to see that kind of Morgan was kind of in the state of mind of, we don't kill people, we kind of keep them alive, because he kept that wolf, the guy from the wolf pack alive, and kept him in the cellar, and then now to kind of see that in his head has kind of changed of, no, we gotta kill them, we are not playing around here, we are killing them. And also to kind of see that the role of who's kind of looking out for the saviors is actually falling onto Jesus. That actually happened before the mid-season finale, so I'm kind of going back to that. But it's kind of interesting to see how the roles are shifting from Morgan to Jesus now. And especially with that big scene of Morgan pulling out that savior's guts. Oh my goodness, that was intense. I was sitting there joking around with my mother of that Morgan was up here on the intense level. He needed to bring it back down here. That he was at like a 10, and he needed to bring it back down to a 5. Because that was just insane. But I really liked watching that of Morgan just kind of just going at them and kind of being like, we need to kind of kill them. And then to have, close to the end of the episode, to have King Ezekiel kind of stand up for the saviors and be like, no, we can't really be killing them. And Morgan just sitting there fighting and be like, no, we need to kill them. This needs to happen. We need to kill them. And kind of see how there's kind of a little bit of conflict between King Ezekiel and Morgan now of King Ezekiel is kind of like, no, we gotta protect them. Morgan's more like, we need to kill them. And so I feel like it's gonna happen more and more in the in the season of as the season progresses, that it's gonna more and more of kind of the fighting between Morgan and King Ezekiel will kind of happen of kill him, don't kill him, and then uh, to have that savior actually not be killed by Morgan, that was really big, and to have it actually be killed by that kid was so big. To have that kid who's so innocent and isn't just is trying to make his way in this world, and to have the loss of his brother though also, uh but to just sit there and kind of take the innocence away from that kid and have it put in his mind of like, we need to kill, this is how life is now, it's either kill or be killed kind of mindset. I did like that though, that he kind of is growing up, because he kind of almost gave that vibe of I can't remember the one kid's name from season 7, uh, who Carol kind of somewhat like spooks into being like, oh, the monsters, they'll come in here if you don't do stuff. I kind of feel like he's kind of giving me kind of that vibe, but he's kind of that kid, but he's more grown up of mentally, that he understands like, okay, we can't be sitting here uh, pretending that something's not happening while something's actually legit happening. I did like that. It was very interesting to actually see that. Um, and then um, to the biggest thing I was wondering throughout the episode was who was going to be the one who kills Carl, because I knew Michonne wasn't going to be able to do it. She and him have kind of developed a mother-son type relationship of, uh, like, she's lost her children, he's lost his mother, and for the first beginning part of when their relationship kind of starts to form, it was kind of like, they didn't really mind for each other, and then now see that she did kind of take over a parent type role for him, and that he like respected him, he respected her as kind of like a mother type figure for him, and she respected him as like an equal person of her, of the same stance, while he looked at her as kind of a higher person. And so it was kind of just devastating to have to sit there and watch that happen. But it was also interesting to have uh, the guy that uh, Carl ends up bringing back, have him actually end up being a doctor. That was pretty big. I did like that. Um, but and then closer to the end of the episode, to see that the old man Rick visions that you've been seeing throughout the season were actually not of the future, that they were actually Carl's vision of what he was hoping the world would be like. Um, it was that was really big. Of like, to see that that's how he saw the world after the war, that he saw goodness after it, that he saw that much goodness, um, and that he actually ends up seeing that Negan, the main bad guy of this whole thing right now, is not locked away. He is out there in the community with everyone and is still a big part of the community. I thought that was really big of Carl to actually kind of vision that's how he wanted the future to be, was he wasn't locked away. He was still trying, that he was out trying to make his way, try to repay his debts and all of that. Thought that was kind of really big of Carl to actually think of that. And then to finally actually see that, because I had heard many rumors that the little girl that Rick had been walking around with was actually not Judith that it was whatever the little baby that they had found, that everyone was rumoring that that's who it actually was, because you don't actually really know what happens to the baby. I think she gets taken by, I can't even remember who. She gets taken by somebody. I think she's up at the hilltop now, and also that's now the new place that they are all heading is the hilltop. Um, is that's kind of their new head spot is going to be the hilltop. It's going to be very interesting to see that. Um, but it's also going to be interesting to kind of see how everyone reacts to the death of Carl, because this episode was everyone at Alexandria kind of accepting the death of Carl, and then now it's to spread it to the people who actually knew him really well, which is Maggie, um, Carol, and to have also it's going to be devastating for Carol because after Sophia died, Carol kind of took the role of a mother type figure for Carl. Carl had a lot of mother type figures. I feel it was kind of like Carol was a mother type figure, and Michonne. Maggie was not that much of a mother type figure. I feel like she was more of like a sister type figure to him, uh, more than anything really. That she was kind of the person that he could go to, if he really needed someone, and to kind of see everyone's reaction to all of this is going to be really just devastating, and this death is going to go on for the rest of the season and possibly even further into season 9, since season 9 has already been confirmed that it is happening. But big surpriser, it might be taking place with a main character not in it. It is rumored that Maggie will not be returning. She is not signed on apparently to be coming back for season 9. We will see as the season progresses what they're going to actually kind of do with that for Maggie. But it's going to be really devastating to see everyone's reaction to Carl's death, though. That's going to be the biggest thing. And it was so devastating when Carl pulls out his own gun and says to Michonne and Rick, "You guys can't do it. I'm going to do it." And then to have the ending of the episode, like right near the ending of the episode, you sit there and you see that Michonne and Rick are sitting outside of the house where they took Carl, and to kind of see, and then all you hear is just Carl shoot himself, and it was just so devastating just to hear that gunshot.